Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another classic movie for you guys. This time reviewing to you a classic comedy for you guys. The 1974 comedy parody classic. Kind of the one that started all of the parody nonsense. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Now, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I always have wanted to see this movie for a couple of reasons. One, I know it was the very first Monty Python movie, and people say it's like the best comedy of all time. I've heard many people say that. Two, it kind of started the whole parody thing. Like, this was like the first thing to really poke fun at parody, and I think they did a very good job with doing it. And overall, how's Monty Python and the Holy Grail? This is by far one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god, this movie is just so funny. And it's really hard to talk about this movie because you just can't take it seriously. There's nothing about this movie you can take seriously. From the opening credits, it's hilarious. It's the first movie to the opening credits made me laugh. I mean, there's a scene in the beginning of this movie with the opening credits that are hilarious. And I'm not going to ruin it for you guys because it's so funny. But the opening credits made me laugh with this movie. Now let's talk about Monty Python and the Holy Grail is about. It's basically a parody of King Arthur and all the, hijinks that ensue. That's what the movie's all about. It's about King Arthur, and that's what it's a parody of. And I think they did a very good job with doing a parody of it. And, this is probably going to be a shorter review because there's really not too much to say about this movie. But let's just get to the acting. The acting all across the board was very funny. Oh my god, so many funny scenes in this movie. Basically, the spoiler's going to be me spoiling some of the funniest scenes in this movie. Graham Chapman as King Arthur, oh my god, he was so funny at points. He definitely had that comic charm that everybody really loves to see. He did a really great job in this movie. He was really funny, and he consistently made me laugh. He was definitely very funny. He was really great. And what I also love about this movie is that everyone, while they play someone, they also play someone else. So that was really cool as well. So then there's John Cleese as Sir Lancelot, who was very good as well. I thought he was definitely very funny. I enjoyed his acting as well. He was definitely very good. Terry Gilliam as Patsy. Just everyone across the board was very funny. There isn't just one person I could talk about. Whoever played Sir Robin, hilarious. Eric Idle played Sir Robin, very funny. What's funny about his character is every time he is on screen, his men, his merry men, are singing something about Sir Robin. They're like, here to find Sir Robin. And every time they're singing, he's just like, shut up, because they're saying the most morbid things about him. They're making him look like a complete pussy. It's hilarious to watch, and just so funny. Really, it's one of the funniest things ever. Now, let's talk about some of the funniest scenes in this movie. These are basically going to be spoilers. If you guys have not seen this movie, I want you guys to watch this movie for yourself. Don't ruin this movie for yourself, because it is hilarious, and if you know I'm sure some of you know these scenes, but if you guys don't, then don't watch Esther's review. Okay. So the first scene, of course, I have to talk about is the classic scene with the Black Knight. Oh my god, that had me dying laughing. Wow, the Black Knight scene is so funny. The scene where he goes up to the Black Knight, basically, if you guys don't know the scene, the Black Knight, of course, wants to challenge King Arthur. He's very confident, so confident that after he gets his arms and legs chopped off, he still wants to fight him. It's just so funny. King Arthur is, literally beating the shit out of him, and he's just like, I'm winning, and he's like, your arms are missing, your legs are missing. It's hilarious to watch. It's a hilarious scene, and it's definitely one of my favorite scenes of this movie by far. So funny. I love that scene. I thought it was absolutely hilarious, and that was definitely one of my favorite scenes. The other scene I loved was the scene with bring out your dead. The scene where they have that dead guy, and he's like, I'm not dead yet, and then he kills him, and then he that guy knocks him on the head with a mallet. That was so funny to watch. The scene where they all start randomly singing, the Knights of the Round Table, that's a classic scene. I mean, that's just really funny, the way they just all start randomly singing. Very funny, and I really enjoyed that about this movie. They did a great job with doing that. The other thing another really funny scene, of course, is the rabbit scene. The scene where they see that killer rabbit. hilarious to watch. I mean, it's a fucking rabbit, and it's like attacking them. It's hilarious to watch, and just wow, that scene is hilarious, absolutely hilarious. I love that scene. Never fails to make me laugh. Never fails. So funny. By far, one of the funniest scenes in this movie is that scene. And then, of course, the ending scene. There's so many other funny scenes in this movie. Let me just find out. Let me just get some of them. The scene with... the scene where they're, like, about to attack. The last scene in this movie is so funny. They're basically about to attack, right? And before they attack, the whole, like, crew and camera crew comes out who's directing the movie. And, the ones that play King Arthur and Sir Lancelot, they're both arrested and they're taken away. So the guy who's, like, directing the movie is like, stop the movie, puts his hands over the lens, and the rest of the movie is just, like, this organ music playing. Oh my god, that was so funny, and it really is a great parody. I don't know what that's really trying to show, but they did a really great job of showing that. That was definitely a very funny way to end the movie. And it's one of those like things where it's supposed to be like a parody of those endings where we're like, what is this? What is this ending? I don't understand the point of this. Like, I definitely thought they did a very good job with doing that. That was so funny, and I love that. I thought that was great. Now, the other thing to talk about in this movie is the directing to this movie. The directing and the pacing to this movie was perfect. Terry Gilliam and Terry Jones, they knew what to do with this movie. They knew that none of this movie is going to be taken seriously. They knew no one is going to take this movie seriously, and they just did a very good job of showing that with this movie. Like, they did a very good job of showing that, and I really enjoyed that about this movie. Like, they did a very good job. The cinematography was also very good, very funny as well. I really enjoyed that. And this movie, by the way, as I said, yes, it was the very first parody movie, but it wasn't the first Monty Python thing. It's based off the show Monty Python's Flying Circus, which was a very popular show on the BBC, and this movie was made during the hiatus for that show, so that's why this movie was made. And, you know, they would go on to do other movies. They did do one before called And Now for Something Completely Different, but that was all, like, compilations of sketches from the show. This was their first original material for a movie. Now, this would spawn two sequels, The Life of Brian, and The Meaning of Life, both I have not seen, but I will review them to you probably, like, next year, not this year, but I will review them to you at some point. This movie also was critically acclaimed by critics. Like, critics love this movie. As I said, it was, like, the very first one of these sort of, like, parody movies to do this. You know, like, sexual references and things like that. And one of the things that's so, like, funny about this movie is that it's intelligent and it's subtle. Like, the humor is like what I said of Airplane. They don't, you know, there's a lot of, like, it seems like a regular movie, but it's funny. So it's a lot like what I said for Airplane. They did that with this movie as well. And honestly, I think this movie's funnier than Airplane. I think it's by far the funniest parody movie I've seen, definitely. It was hilarious, and it definitely made me laugh. They did a very good job with showing that in this movie. Like, it was definitely very funny in that way, and I was very happy, like, the way it turned out. Definitely very good. And, yeah, the movie also made a musical called Spamalot, which I heard is very funny. I believe it won a Tony Award, actually. It was very successful, based off of, this movie. I don't know if it was the same exact premise or whatever, but it was basically the same, plot of this movie, I believe, or something like that. I don't really know, but I know that it was based on this movie, and I know there's one, like, popular song, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, but, you know, that's basically all I can say about this movie. And, yeah, so that's why I really can't review this movie that much, because it's really not a movie you take seriously. It's a movie that you guys really have to see for yourself. I really highly recommend you check out this movie. Definitely one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. I haven't laughed this hard to a movie in a very long time. And I really love Monty Python, the Holy Grail. It is a classic, and everyone should definitely watch it. Alright, so that's basically it for my review of Monty Python, the Holy Grail. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you guys saw of this movie. Do you think it's as funny as I said it is? I'm sure you guys do think that. I know there are a lot of people who absolutely love this movie, and I'm sure if you guys love this movie, you will tell me that it's just as funny as I said it is. But that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for another classic movie review. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.